Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to discuss MA English Entrance Exam 2024 question paper, detailed explanation with answers. And this is going to be the part 2 video of MA English Entrance Exam under TG CPGET 2025 notification 2024 question paper. In the previous video we have discussed the first 50 questions of 2024 question paper. Now we are going to discuss the remaining questions from 51 question to the 100th question. Let's look at the questions. And here we have 51st question. And the question is, hell is a city much like London. Whose view is this? And we have options like Wordsworth, Walter Scott, Coleridge, and Shelley. And hell is a city much like London. These are the lines appear in the poem of P.B. Shelley. And the correct answer here is fourth option. We can find these lines in P.B. Shelley's poem Peter Bell the Third. Hell is a city much like London are the lines appears in Peter Bell the Third poem written by P.B. Shelley. So the correct answer here is fourth option. Let's move towards next question. 52nd question. Arnold's Culture and Anarchy was written in. Yes, Matthew Arnold's book Culture and Anarchy was written in. And we have options like 1825, 1855, 1869 and 1885. And the correct answer here is 1869. Matthew Arnold belongs to 19th century and his book Culture and Anarchy was published in 1869. So the correct answer here is third option. And the next question, who is the author of Unto This Last? Yes, here they are asking the author of the book Unto This Last. And we have options like Thomas B. Macaulay, Thomas Carlyle, John Ruskin and R.L. Stevenson. And the correct answer here is third option, John Ruskin. Unto This Last is a series of essays written by John Ruskin. In these essays, John Ruskin talks about society, wealth and morality. And the correct answer here is John Ruskin. Unto This Last is written by John Ruskin. Let's move towards next question, 54th question. T.S. Eliot dedicated his Wasteland to. Yes, The Wasteland is a famous poem written by T.S. Eliot. It's a long poem and he dedicated this poem to, we have options like A.E. Housman, W.V. Yeats, Rudyard Kipling and Ezra Pound. Yes, and the correct answer here is Ezra Pound. T.S. Eliot dedicated his long poem The Wasteland to Ezra Pound. Ezra Pound is the contemporary of T.S. Eliot. So the correct answer here is fourth option. Let's move towards next question. Who was the author of Light of Asia? And we have options like Matthew Arnold, Arnold Bennett, Edwin Arnold, W.H. Auden. And the correct answer here is Edwin Arnold. Light of Asia is a long poem and it is written by Edwin Arnold. In this poem, in this epic poem, Edwin Arnold talks about the life of Buddha and his teachings. Edwin Arnold introduces Buddhist teaching to Western world with this epic poem. And it was published in 1879. Light of Asia is an epic poem written by Edwin Arnold. So the correct answer here is third option. Let's move towards next question. 56th question. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World is called. Yes, here we have a question on Aldous Huxley's novel Brave New World. And we have options like a psychological novel, a prophetic novel, a novel of adventure, a picaresque novel. And the correct answer here is a prophetic novel. And it is also a dystopian novel. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World is a prophetic novel and also a dystopian novel. And in this novel, he depicts the future society and he critiques modernity and modern technological advancements. And it was published in 1932. So, Aldous Huxley's Brave New World is called a prophetic novel. So, the correct answer here is second option. Let's move towards next question, 57th question. Who is the author of Rip Van Winkle? Yes, Rip Van Winkle is a great short story, and we have options like Macaulay, Carlyle, Washington Irving, or else Stevenson. Yes, as we all know, Rip Van Winkle is written by Washington Irving. Washington Irving is an American author, and Rip Van Winkle is a short story and which was published in 1819 in his collection The Sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon, Gent. So the correct answer here is Washington Irving. Washington Irving is the author of Rip Van Winkle. So the correct answer here is third option. Let's move towards next question. 58th question. Who was the first Indian poet who received the Nobel Prize for Literature? Yes, this is going to be very, very important. And this question can be repeated many times in future exams related to English literature. So, we have options like Sri Aurobindo Ghosh, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, Rabindranath Tagore, and V.S. Naipaul. And the correct answer here is Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was the first Indian poet who received the Nobel Prize for Literature. And write down few of the points related to this Nobel Prize for Literature, Rabindranath Tagore's Nobel Prize for Literature. And Rabindranath Tagore received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. Write down the year 1913. We can expect the year in the future exams. So, he received Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 and for his collection of poems, Geetanjali. Write down Geetanjali. Geetanjali is also called as Songs of Offering. And the correct answer here is third option, Rabindranath Tagore. Let's move towards next question, 59th question. Which of the following was written by Mukraj Anand? Yes, again a question from great Indian English novelist Mukraj Anand, and we have options like Shame, Midnight's Children, The Untouchable, and Bend in the Ganges. And the correct answer here is Untouchable. Yes, The Untouchable is a great book written by Mukraj Anand. When it comes to Midnight's Children is written by Salman Rushdie. And here I am giving you a small homework. Find out the authors of the books Shame and Bend in the Ganges. Yes, so the correct answer here is third option. Let's move towards next question. 60th question. Who is the author of Utopia? And we have options like Eugene O'Neill, Edward Albee, Sir Thomas More, and John Milton. And the correct answer here is Sir Thomas More. Utopia is a philosophical fiction written by Sir Thomas More, and it was published in the year 1516. So the correct answer here is third option. Sir Thomas More is the author of Utopia. A gentle reminder to the candidates who are watching this video. Most of the students are watching the videos but they are not liking. And if you like the content, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and your comments are going to give motivation to me to make more videos and to make more content on MA English entrance exam. So if you like the content, please click on the like button and share it to your friends and subscribe to my channel. Let's move towards next question. 61 question. Who is the writer of Byzantium? Byzantium is a great poem written by, we have options like John Milton, W.B. Yeats, George Moore and G.B. Shaw. And the correct answer here is W.B. Yeats, William Butler Yeats. His full name, William Butler Yeats. And Byzantium comes under symbolist poetry, and W.B. Yeats published this poem in 1932 in his collection The Winding Stair and Other Poems. So the correct answer here is second option. W.B. Yeats is the writer of Byzantium. Let's move towards next question. 62nd question. A dash group is a scattered population with a common geographic origin and is away from its original homeland. And here they are asking the question on a group. And we have options like diasporic, rooted, slave and refugee. Let's look at the meanings of the words. Diasporic gives the exact meaning of away from original homeland, and rooted is from the original homeland, and slave is nothing but a person who is owned by another person, so this doesn't fit this blank. And refugee is a person who has been forced to leave the country to escape war and natural disasters. So this word is also doesn't fit this blank. So the correct answer here is diasporic. Diasporic writers are a group of writers, and a diasporic group is a scattered population with a common geographic origin and is away from its original homeland. Yes, we have Indian diaspora. So the correct answer here is first option, that is diasporic. Let's move towards next question. 63rd question. Structuralism originated from the works of the famous linguistic theorist. Yes, structuralism is a famous critical movement, and we have options like Kenneth Pike, Ferdinand de Saussure, Bloomfield and Halliday, M.A. Halliday. And the correct answer here is Ferdinand de Saussure. Yes. Structuralism was originated from the works of Ferdinand de Saussure. And write down, he introduced the concept of structuralism in his work Course in General Linguistics. Write down the work written by Ferdinand de Saussure, Course in General Linguistics, which was published in the year 1916. In this work, he introduced the concept of structuralism. So the correct answer here is second option, that is Ferdinand de Saussure. Let's move towards next question, 64th question. Things Fall Apart, the first novel by Chinua Achebe, was published in, yes, here they are asking the question on publication date of Things Fall Apart. Things Fall Apart is a great book written by Chinua Achebe, and it is the first novel by Chinua Achebe. And we have options like 1948, 1958, 1968 and 1963. And the correct answer here is second option, that is 1958. In this novel, In this novel, Things Fall Apart, Chinua Achebe discusses about Igbo culture, Igbo community, IGBO, Igbo community, and in this novel, he discusses the impact of colonialism on African countries. And we can see the major character Okonkwo in this novel. Okonkwo is the major protagonist of this novel, Things Fall Apart. Let's move towards next question, 65th question. Match the following poetic lines with the poets and respective poems given below them. Yes, here they are asking the question on match, and one side they have given the lines from the poem and the other side they have given poet's name and his work. Poet's name along with his work. So here we have, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? And water, water everywhere, nor a water, nor a drop to drink. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. And two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by. And we have the works like St. Coleridge's Rime of Ancient Mariner and William Wordsworth's Daffodils, P.B. Shelley's Ode to the West Wind, and Robert Frost's Road Not Taken. And let's look at the options. And here we have the answer. First one is from Shelley's Ode to West Wind. And the second line is from St. Coleridge's Rime of the Ancient Mariner. And the third line is from William Wordsworth's Daffodils. And the fourth line is from Robert Frost's Road Not Taken. Yes, let's look at the match in detail. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? These are the lines appear in William Wordsworth's poem Daffodils. And second one, water, water everywhere, nor a drop to drink. And this lines appears in St. Coleridge's Rime of Ancient Mariner. Samuel Taylor Coleridge's Rime of Ancient Mariner. And the third one, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. And these lines are from William Wordsworth's Daffodils. Yes. Sorry, the first one, if winter comes, can spring be far behind, are the lines from P.B. Shelley's Ode to the West Wind. Yes. Make this correction. The first line, if winter comes, can spring be far behind, are the lines appears in P.B. Shelley's Ode to the West Winds. Ode to the West Wind. These are the last lines of the poem Ode to the West Wind. Water, water everywhere, nor a drop to drink. These are the lines from St. Coleridge's Rime of Ancient Mariner. And third one, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. Yes, these are the lines from William Wordsworth's Daffodils. And two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by. And these are the lines from Robert Frost's poem The Road Not Taken. Yes, if you observe keenly, you can find the answers very easily, even if you don't know the options, if you don't know the lines of the poems. See, the fourth option, two roads. Underline the word roads. You can find the word roads again in Robert Frost's poem The Road Not Taken. Road not taken. Yes. Likewise, you can eliminate the options. And if you take second option, water, water everywhere, nor a drop to drink. Water is related to sea, right? So in the first option, St. Coleridge's Rime of Ancient Mariner, it is related to water and sea. So you can relate like this. You can guess the answers by using this kind of work. You can do the elimination. Let's move. So the correct answer here is third option. Let's move towards next question, that is 66th question. How many books are there in Paradise Lost? Yes, Paradise Lost is again a great work written by John Milton, and it is an epic poem written by John Milton. And we have options like 8, 10, 12, and 6. And the correct answer here is third option, 12 books. 12 books are there in Paradise Lost. Yes, Paradise Lost is an epic poem written by John Milton. Write down these details. Paradise Lost, written by John Milton. And in this epic poem, John Milton discusses the story of fall of man and the rebellion of Satan. That is, Lucifer, fallen angel, is rebellion against God. And John Milton also wrote a sequel to this epic poem, and the sequel name is Paradise Regained. Paradise Regained. Write down all these points in your notebook. These are going to be really helpful. You can expect the questions from the other sequels and other details related to these questions. Let's move towards next question. 67th question. Who was or were the author or authors of the lyrical ballads? Here we have lyrical ballads. Again, it is a great collection of poems, and this is going to be the publication of this work can be considered as the beginning of Romanticism movement, Romanticism period. And we have options like Wordsworth and Coleridge, and Wordsworth and Walter Scott. And the correct answer here is Wordsworth and Coleridge. Lyrical ballads were written by William Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge, that is Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And the correct option here is second option. Write down these details. Lyrical ballads were published in 1798. You can expect the question on the publication date of lyrical ballads. So write down the year. Lyrical ballads were published in 1798. And you can also expect a question on how many poems were there in lyrical ballads. And the answer is 19 poems. So in lyrical ballads, we can see 19 poems. Most of the poems were written by William Wordsworth, and S.T. Coleridge also contributed to lyrical ballads. And just now we discussed the poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. This poem we can see in this collection, Lyrical Ballads. Let's move towards next question. Madeline is the protagonist of which narrative poem of Keats? Keats is nothing but John Keats. Here they are asking the question on Madeline is the protagonist of which poem of John Keats? And we have options like Endymion, Eve of St. Agnes, Eve of St. Mark, and Hyperion. Yes, remember all these works written by John Keats. These are the major works, and there are so many other works written by John Keats, but try to remember at least these 4 works. So you can expect a question again on the major works written by John Keats. And the correct answer here is Eve of St. Agnes. Yes, Madeline is the protagonist of Eve of St. Agnes. Eve of St. Agnes is a narrative poem written by John Keats. So the correct answer here is second option. Let's move towards next question. Who is the author of Scarlet Letter? Yes, again this is a famous work, and they are asking directly the author of this work. Yes, this comes under canonical text or the canonical works, and we have options like Herman Melville, Mark Twain, Nathaniel Hawthorne, and Walt Whitman. And the correct answer here is Nathaniel Hawthorne. Nathaniel Hawthorne written The Scarlet Letter. And write down some more details related to the Scarlet Letter. Scarlet Letter, in Scarlet Letter, the major protagonist here is Hester Prynne. Hester Prynne. Yes, you can expect the question again on the protagonist of the Scarlet Letter. And the answer is Hester Prynne. Hesterprynne. And what is Scarlet Letter? Scarlet Letter is nothing but letter A in red color. And the major protagonist, Hester Prynne, wears the scarlet letter, that is A, as a symbol of shame and sin in the Puritan community. Yes, this was written during the popularity of Puritan community. So, scarlet letter is a symbol of shame and sin. And the correct answer here is Nathaniel Hawthorne, third option, is the author of the Scarlet Letter. Let's move towards next question. The sequel of Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale is titled. Yes, here they are giving information related to her work, Margaret Atwood's work, The Handmaid's Tale, and they are asking sequel to that work. And we have options like Oryx and Crake, The Heart Goes Last, The Testaments, The Wanting Seed. And the correct answer here is The Testaments. Yes, the third option is the correct answer. Margaret Atwood wrote The Handmaid's Tale, and which was published in the year 1986. And she wrote a sequel to this work, that is The Testaments, and which was published in the year 2019. After many years, she has written the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, that is The Testaments, which was published in 2019. Write down all these extra details that I am giving to you. So these are going to be helpful during your revision. You can expect the questions on the extra content that I am giving, the extra information that I am giving related to authors, related to works, related to the major books. So write down all these details, and the correct answer here is The Testaments. Once again, a gentle reminder to all the candidates or all the students who are watching this video. If you like the content, click on the like button and share it to your friends. Subscribe to my channel and click on the bell button so that you can get the notifications if I upload any new video. If you like the content, this gives me motivation to make more videos. So if you have any doubts regarding MA English Entrance Examination, and if you want me to make videos on other papers or the previous papers, let me know in the comment box. If you want me to discuss any topics that you're feeling not comfortable, let me know in the comment box. I am here to help. And if you like the content, click on the like button. Let's move towards next question, that is 71 question. The Underground Railroad is written by. Yes, here we have a question on the historical fiction. The Underground Railroad is written by. We have options like Norman Mailer, Richard Powers, Andrew Sean Greer, and Colson Whitehead. And the correct answer here is Colson Whitehead. Colson Whitehead is an American author, and he is the author of The Underground Railroad. So, The Underground Railroad is written by Colson Whitehead, and it was published in the year 2016. Yes, note down all these details, all the extra information that I am giving to you. The Underground Railroad is written by Colson Whitehead. So the correct answer here is fourth option. Let's move towards 72nd question. Which of the following novel is by the Australian American novelist Geraldine Brooks? And we have options like March, Horse, Caleb's Crossing, and Years of Wonders. And in this question, the question is itself wrong. All the options, any option can be correct here. So all these works were written by Geraldine Brooks. So March, Horse, Caleb's Crossing, and Years of Wonders, all these were written by Geraldine Brooks, Australian American novelist Geraldine Brooks. And when it comes to March, March was published in the year 2005, and Geraldine Brooks is an Australian American novelist, and March comes under the genre historical fiction, and which won her Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 2016. Yes, March was published in the year 2005, and this novel won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in the year 2006. Yes, write down all these details. So the correct answer here is March or any of the works. Let's move towards next question. 73rd question. Which of the following Kazuo Ishiguro's novels set in the Britain of the 1990s? Yes, we have a question on Kazuo Ishiguro, who is a famous Japanese writer, and he awarded Nobel Prize for Literature in 2017. And we have options like The Buried Gate, Never Let Me Go, Clara and the Sun, and Nocturnes. And the correct answer here is Never Let Me Go. Never Let Me Go is a novel which is set in the Britain of the 1990s. Yes, set in the Britain of 1990s. And Kazuo Ishiguro is a famous Japanese writer, and he received Nobel Prize for Literature in 2017. Yes, write down all these details in your notebook. Kazuo Ishiguro awarded Nobel Prize for Literature in 2017. And Never Let Go is a novel which is set in the Britain of the 1990s. And this story takes place at Hailsham, a boarding school for clones. And in this novel, Kazuo Ishiguro explores the themes like humanity, memory, and mortality. So the correct answer here is second option. And remember the other options, The Buried Gate, Clara and the Sun, and Nocturnes, these are the novels written by Kazuo Ishiguro. Let's move towards next question. 74th question. The first Omani woman novelist to be translated into English is? Yes, this is a tricky question. You need to remember these names. The first Omani woman novelist to be translated into English. And we have options like Nazra al-Adawi, Joka al-Harthi, Huda Hamid, Bushra Kalfan. And the correct answer here is Joka al-Harthi. She was the first Omani woman novelist to be translated into English. And so the correct answer here is second option, Joka al-Harthi. And write down few of the works written by Joka al-Harthi. And her major novels are Celestial Bodies, published in 2010. And another novel, The Bitter Orange Tree, which was published in 2022. The Bitter Orange Tree. And another novel, Silken Ghazals, published in 2024. Yes, these are the major works written by Joka al-Harthi. Joka al-Harthi is the first Omani woman novelist to be translated into English. And the correct answer here is Second option. Let's move towards next question. 75th question. Swing Time is written by. Yes, Swing Time is a novel and it is written by J.D. Smith, Chimamanda Adichie, Alice Munro, Jean Rice. And the correct answer here is first option, that is J.D. Smith. Swing Time is a novel written by J.D. Smith and which was published in the year 2016. J.D. Smith is a British novelist and Swing Time comes under contemporary fiction. So the correct answer here is first option. Swing Time is written by J.D. Smith. Let's move towards next question, that is 76th question. The novel Ants Among Elephants, An Untouchable Family and the Making of Modern India has been written by. We have options like Sujata Bhatt, Sujata Gidla, Manjula Padmanabhan and Kamala Das. Yes, the novel Ants Among Elephants, An Untouchable Family and the Making of Modern India. And this novel was written by Sujata Gidla. Sujata Gidla is a writer from Andhra Pradesh, Telugu speaking state. And this was Ants Among Elephants, An Untouchable Family and the Making of Modern India was published in the year 2017 and it is written by Sujata Gidla, writer from Andhra Pradesh. And the correct answer here is second option, that is Sujata Gidla. Let's move towards next question, 77th question. Who was the first writer from the USA to win the Man Booker Prize? Yes, first writer from USA, United States of America, to win the Man Booker Prize. And we have options like Ernest Hemingway, Melvin Calvin, Paul Beatty and Frederick Sanger. And the correct answer here is Paul Beatty. Paul Beatty is the first writer from the USA to win the Man Booker Prize. And he received the Man Booker Prize for his novel, The Sellout. The Sellout was published in 2016. Write down all these details. He received the Man Booker Prize for his satirical novel, The Sellout, published in the year 2016. Let's move towards next question, 78th question. Which of the following are correctly matched? We have options like Selection Day, Aravind Adiga, Capitalism, A Ghost Story, Arundhati Roy, Jikora, Chimamanda Adichie, Ngozi Adichie, Where We Once Belonged, Sia Feigl. And the correctly matched are, all of these works are correctly matched. Let's look at in details about all these works. Selection Day is a sports novel published in 2016, written by Aravind Adiga. Write down all these details. List down in your notes. Selection Day is a sports novel published in 2016, written by Aravind Adiga. Capitalism, A Ghost Story, written by Arundhati Roy, published in 2014. And Jikora is a short story written by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie and which was published in 2020 in the short story collection Notes on Grief. Jikora is a short story which we can find in the collection Notes on Grief, published in 2020, written by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Where We Once Belonged, and it is a novel published in 1996, written by Sia Feigl. Where We Once Belonged is a novel published in 1996, written by Sia Figil. So the correct option here is second option. Write down all these details in your notebook. We can expect the question on the additional information related to these major works. So the questions are repeated, but not exactly. They'll ask the additional information related to all these works and all these authors. Let's move towards next question. 79th question. Yes. Tomb of Sand, translated by Daisy Rockwell, was originally written by Geetanjali Sri in which language? Yes. Tomb of Sand. It's a great work and which received International Booker Prize for the year 2022. And this was originally written by Geetanjali Sri in which language? Let's look at the languages. Bengali, Oriya, Gujarati and Hindi. And the correct answer here is Hindi. Tomb of Sand. And it was originally written by Geetanjali Sri in Hindi language. In Hindi language, it was written as Ret Samadhi. R-E-T, Ret Samadhi. Ret Samadhi. And it was translated into English by Daisy Rockwell. Daisy Rockwell as Tomb of Sand. Tomb of Sand. And which won the International Booker Prize for the year 2022. Yes, list out the International Booker Prize winners from all these years. Make a list of the works and the authors and the translators. We can expect the question on the Booker Prize winners, Pulitzer Prize winners, and also Nobel Prize winners. So list down all those things, and the correct answer here is fourth option, that is Hindi. Let's move towards next question. 80th question. Who wrote the Pulitzer Prize winning novel The Overstory for the year 2019? Yes, The Overstory is a novel which won Pulitzer Prize for the year 2019, and here they are asking the writer of this novel. And we have options like Richard Powers, Arthur Miller, Ernst Gaines, and E.D. Billings. And the correct answer here is Richard Powers. The Overstory, Pulitzer Prize winning novel Overstory, was written by Richard Powers, and it was published and it received Pulitzer Prize for the year 2019. And the Overstory is a story of 9 characters. Write down these details. The Overstory is a story of 9 characters and whose lives were interconnected by trees. Yes, underline trees. You can expect the question again on these 9 characters were interconnected by dash in the novel The Overstory, and the answer is trees. Here the correct answer here is Richard Powers wrote the Pulitzer Prize winning novel The Overstory for the year 2019. Once again, a gentle reminder to the students and the candidates who are preparing for MA English entrance exam. Most of the students are watching the video and they are not clicking on the like button and they are not subscribing to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, you will get the notifications related to the upcoming videos and the content related to MA English entrance exam, and also the latest updates on MA English entrance exam and other exams related to English literature and English language. If you like the content, click on the like button and share it to your friends and subscribe to my channel. If I get more likes and more subscribers, that gives me motivation to make more and more content related to MA English entrance exam and other content related to English literature and English language. So like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's move towards next question, that is 81st question. Shelley's death was caused by. Yes, here they are asking the death of, the reason behind P.B. Shelley's death. P.B. Shelley's full name, Percy Bysshe Shelley. Death was caused by, and options are drowning, poisoning, consumption, and fighting. Yes, P.B. Shelley died at a very young age, that is 29 years of his age, and his death was caused by drowning. Yes, drowning into the sea, and he was died on July 8th, 1822. Write down the details. He was died on July 8th, 1822, at a very young age of 29 years. And the reason behind his death was drowning. And where he was drowned? At Gulf of Spege, Italy. Yes, he was drowned at Gulf of Spege, Italy. And he was on a trip to Livorno. While returning from that trip to Livorno, he was drowned at Gulf of Spege in Italy on July 8th, 1822. Yes, he's a great poet and he died at a very young age, 29 years old. Shelley's death was caused by drowning. So the correct option here is first option. Let's move towards next question, 82nd question. A sonnet is a poem of how many lines? Yes, this question we already discussed in the previous year paper, previous video. And the correct answer here is 14 lines. 14 lines poem is called as sonnet. Yes, we have various sonnets like Petrarchan sonnet, Shakespearean sonnet, and we also discussed the rhyme schemes of Petrarchan sonnet and Shakespearean sonnet and Spenserian sonnet. Go and watch the previous video and you will get all these details on sonnet and the types of sonnets and their rhyme scheme. And the correct answer here is 14. And sonnet is a form of poetry and which is derived from Italy. Let's move towards, so the correct answer here is fourth option. Let's move towards next question. 83rd question. Comparison between two things by using the words like or as. And here we have the question on figures of speech. And the options are metaphor, hyperbole, rhetoric, and simile. And the correct answer here is simile. Yes. Here you need to remember simile and metaphor together so that it gives you an extra mark to you in the future exams. See, first look at simile. In simile and metaphor we compare two things, but in simile we use the words like or as. For example, Usain Bolt runs like a cheetah. Usain Bolt runs like a cheetah. Yes, we are comparing Usain Bolt's running with cheetah's running by using the word like. L-I-K, like. And if it comes to metaphor, in metaphor also we compare two things, two persons, but without using the word, underline the word without using the words like or as. And let's look at the example for this. Usain Bolt is a cheetah. Usain Bolt is a cheetah. Here we are saying without using any words like or as. We are directly comparing Usain Bolt with cheetah. So the correct answer, the comparison between two things by using the word like or as, is simile. So the correct answer here is fourth option. Let's move towards 84th question. Who is the author of The Hairy Ape? Yes, The Hairy Ape. Yes, this is a famous play published in 1922. And we have options like Eugene O'Neill, Edward Albee, Sir Thomas More, and John Milton. Yes, and the correct answer here is Eugene O'Neill. Yes, The Hairy Ape is an expressionist play which was published in the year 1922 and it was written by Eugene O'Neill. Yes. Write down all these details in your notebook. These are going to be really helpful for your revision before the exam, and you can get extra marks, or you are able to do the questions, extra questions basing upon the additional information if you get the questions on this additional information. So the correct answer here is Eugene O'Neill. Let's move towards next question. Who is the author of Ode to Duty? Yes, and it is again on the poem. Direct question on the author of the poem Ode to Duty. And we have options like John Milton, P.B. Shelley, John Keats, and William Wordsworth. And the correct answer here is William Wordsworth. Ode to Duty is a poem written by William Wordsworth and which was published in the year 1805. So the correct answer here is William Wordsworth, fourth option. Let's move towards next question. The novel The Financial Expert was written by. Yes. Again, the question directly on the writer of the novel, The Financial Expert. And the options are Mugraj Anand, Raja Rao, Shashi Tharoor, and R.K. Narayan. Yes, and the correct answer here is R.K. Narayan. And the correct answer here is R.K. Narayan. The Financial Expert was written by R.K. Narayan. And the other famous works of R.K. Narayan include Mr. Sampath and Malgudi Days. Yes, we can expect a question on Malgudi Days written by R.K. Narayan. So the novel The Financial Expert was written by R.K. Narayan. So the correct answer here is fourth option. Let's move towards next question. 87th question. Systemic functional grammar was developed by the famous linguist dash, and we have SFG, question on SFG, systemic functional grammar, and we have options like Kenneth Pike, Ferdinand de Saussure, Bloomfield, and M.A. Halliday. Yes, and the correct answer here is M.A. Halliday. Systemic functional grammar was developed by M.A. Halliday. Systemic functional grammar is also known as SFG, and M.A. Halliday introduced this concept in his book An Introduction to Functional Grammar. Yes, write down the book name, M.A. Halliday's book An Introduction to Functional Grammar, published in 1985. In this book, he introduced the concept of systemic functional grammar, that is SFG. So the correct answer here is fourth option, M.A. Halliday. Let's move towards next question. In Lord of the Flies, dash, the antagonist represents savagery and the desire for power. And again, this is from the great novel Lord of the Flies, written by William Golding. And we have options like Jack, Piggy, Roger, and Ralph. And the correct answer here is Jack. Lord of the Flies is a novel written by William Golding, and this was published in the year 1954. Jack is the major antagonist of the novel, and he represents savagery and the desire for power. He is the symbol. Jack is the symbol of savagery and the desire for power. When it comes to protagonist, yes, The fourth option is the protagonist, and he represents order and civility. Write down all these details. Ralph is the protagonist and he represents order and civility. Jack is the antagonist, represents savagery and the desire for power. Protagonist means hero and the antagonist means villain. So Ralph is the hero and Jack is the villain of Lord of the Flies, written by William Golding. And the correct answer here is first option, that is Jack. Let's move towards next question, 89th question. Who is the author of The Birthday Party? Yes, we have options like John Bunyan, Cecil D. Lewis, Scott Fitzgerald, and Harold Pinter. And the correct answer here is fourth option, that is Harold Pinter. Harold Pinter is the author of The Birthday Party. Yes, The Birthday Party is a play written by Harold Pinter. Yes, write down the few details related to the play The Birthday Party, and it is written by Harold Pinter and it was published in 1957. And this comes under the genre of absurdist play. Yes, this comes under theatre of absurd, and this is an absurdist play, and this is a play of 3 acts. Yes, we can see only 3 acts in this play, The Birthday Party. So the correct answer here is fourth option, that is Harold Pinter. Let's move towards next question, 90th question. The poem Small Scale Reflections on a Great House are A.K. Ramanujan's Reflections on Dash House. Yes, this is the poem which we can see in the degree syllabus, and the options are old, antique, ancient, and ancestral. Yes, all these words are synonymous, but here in this poem, A.K. Ramanujan particularly talks about his ancestral house. So the answer here is ancestral. Small Scale Reflections on a Great House is a poem written by A.K. Ramanujan, and in this poem we can see his reflections on his ancestral house, which means his grandparents' house. So the correct answer here is fourth option. Once again, a gentle reminder to all the candidates and students and my subscribers and the candidates who haven't subscribed to my channel. If you like the content, click on the like button and share it to your friends and subscribe to my channel. Yes, if you do all these things, this gives me motivation. This gives me a positive hope to create more and more videos so that I can understand that my videos are being helpful to the candidates who are preparing for M.A. English Entrance Exam under CPGET 2025 notification. If you have any doubts or if you want to discuss anything, let me know in the comment box. Feel free to discuss the things in the comment box. I'm here to give reply and I'm here to make videos on the topics which you are feeling uncomfortable. And while subscribing, click on the bell button so that you will get the notifications related to my upcoming videos, and whenever I upload a new video you will get the notification. And like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's move towards next question. Yes, next we have comprehension, that is passage, the question on the passage. Here we have the passage, and here we have questions 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. We have 5 questions on this passage. Let's look at the passage. Walls and wall building have played a very important role in Chinese culture. Yes, the passage is about Chinese culture. Let's look at the passage. These people from the dim mists of prehistory have been wall conscious from the Neolithic period, when ramparts of pounded earth were used, to the communist revolution. Walls were an essential part of any village. Not only towns and villages, the houses and the temples within them were somehow walled, and the houses also had no windows overlooking the street, thus giving the feeling of wandering around a huge maze. The name for a city in Chinese, Cheng, means wall. And over these walled cities, villages, houses, and temples presides the gold of walls and mounds, whose duties were and still are to protect and be responsible for the welfare of the inhabitants. Thus, a great and extremely laborious task, such as constructing a wall, which was supposed to run throughout the country, must not have seemed such an absurdity. However, it is indeed a common mistake to perceive the Great Wall as a single architectural structure, and it would also be erroneous to assume that it was built during a single dynasty. For the building of the wall spanned the various dynasties, and each of these dynasties somehow contributed to the refurbishing and the construction of a wall whose foundations had been laid many centuries ago. It was during the 4th and 3rd century BC that each warring state started building walls to protect their kingdoms, both against one another and against the northern nomads. Especially three of these states, the Qin Chao and the Yan, corresponding respectively to the modern provinces of Shenxi, Shanxi, and Hopei, over and above building walls that surrounded their kingdoms, also laid the foundations on which Qin Shi Huangdi would build his first continuous Great Wall. The role of the Great Wall played in the growth of Chinese economy was an important one. Throughout the centuries, many settlements were established along the new border. The garrison troops were instructed to reclaim wasteland and to plant crops on it. Roads and canals were built, to mention just a few of the works carried out. All these undertakings greatly helped to increase the country's trade and cultural exchanges with many remote areas and also with the southern, central, and western parts of Asia. The formation of this Silk Road, builders, garrisons, artisans, farmers, and peasants left behind a trail of objects, including inscribed tablets, household articles, and written work, which have become extremely valuable archaeological evidence to the study of defense institutions of the Great Wall and the everyday life of these people who lived and died along the wall. Yes, the passage is about the importance and the information related to the Great Wall of China. And yes, my suggestion to the candidates and the students preparing for MA English entrance exam is that yes, don't waste your time in the beginning of the exam for spending your time on passage. Yes, complete or do the questions related to passage and analysis of poem at the end of the exam. After completing all the questions, all the MCQs, you just focus on the passage and the analysis of the poem at the ending of your exam. This will save your time. If you start doing the questions on passage in the beginning of the exam, this will strain your brain, so do not strain your brain. In the beginning of the exam, do the other questions related to English literature and English grammar, English language, and after that focus on passage and analysis of the poem questions. Yes, let's look at the questions on this passage. Chinese cities resembled a maze. And the correct answer here is because the houses had no external windows. Yes, Chinese cities resembled a maze because the houses had no external windows. Yes, this we can see in the passage. Constructing a wall that ran the length of the country may have made sense within Chinese culture. Yes, the correct answer here is may have constructing a wall that ran the length of the country may have made sense within Chinese culture. Yes, that is third option. Yes, go back to the passage and find out the answers that you will find these answers easily in the passage. The Great Wall of China was built in a single dynasty? No. So the first option is incorrect. Was refurbished in the 5th, 4th and 3rd centuries BC and used existing foundations, was built by Qinzhou and the Yan. And the Great Wall of China used existing foundations. So the correct answer here is third option. Let's move towards next question, 94th question. Crops were planted on reclaimed wasteland. Yes, not on wasteland, not to reclaim wasteland and not along the canals. It is on reclaimed wasteland. Crops were planted on reclaimed wasteland. So the correct answer here is third option. Let's move towards next question, that is 95th question. The Great Wall helped build trade inside and outside China. Yes, it was helped build trade inside and outside the China. So the correct answer here is second option. You can find all these answers for all these questions in the passage. If you read the passage carefully for 2 times, you will easily identify the answers to these questions. Yes, do the same thing in the exam. Read the passage for 1 time, then look at the questions. If you are unable to find the answers in the passage, read the passage once again from beginning to the end. Then you will be able to do the answers. You will be able to get the answers very easily. Let's move towards next question, and we have the questions 96, 97, 98, 99 and 100. Again 5 questions on the analysis of poem. Here they gave us a poem. Let's look at the poem. It started as a pilgrimage, exalting minds and making all. The burdens light, the second stage, explored but did not taste the call. The sun beat down to match our rage. We stood it very well, I thought, observed and put down copious notes on things the peasants sold and bought. The way of serpents and of goats, 3 cities where a sage had taught. But when differences arose on how to cross a desert patch, we lost a friend whose stylish prose was quite the best of all our batch. A shadow falls on us and grows. Another phase was reached when we were twice attacked and lost our way. A section claimed its liberty to leave the group. I tried to pray. Our leader said he smelled the sea. We noticed nothing as we went, a straggling crowd of little hope, ignoring what the thunder meant. Deprived of common needs like soap, some were broken, some merely bent. When finally we reached the place, we hardly know why we were there. The trip had darkened every face, our deeds were neither great nor rare. Home is where we have to gather grace. Yes, this is all about the poem. The poem is of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stanzas poem. And we have the questions. 96th question is, the central idea of the poem is, yes. In this poem, the poets are traveling with an open mind. So the correct answer here is first option, that is traveling with an open mind. The central idea of the poem is traveling with an open mind. Let's move towards next question. Home is where we have to gather grace. Yes, this is the last line of the poem, and here home is dash, the seat of peace and understanding. Yes, this is a place for peace and understanding. Home is nothing but a place or a seat of peace and understanding. So the correct answer here is first option. Let's move towards 90th question. The poem satirizes mankind's dash journey of life, focus on the unessential, outward quest and aimless wandering. Yes, in this poem, through this poem, the poet is satirizing the mankind's outward quest. So the correct answer here is third option. Let's move towards next question. What is not a symbol from among the following mentioned in the poem? Yes, sun, pilgrimage, thunder. We can see all these words in the poem, and these are the symbols that are mentioned in the poem, but the last word phase is not a symbol. So the correct answer here is last one, fourth option, that is phase. Phase is not a symbol from the which is mentioned in the poem. Let's move towards 100th question and the final question of this paper. The poem is dash in its nature: enterprising, avuncular, sociological, allegorical. So the poem is allegorical. The poem is allegorical in its nature. So the correct answer here is third option. Yes, this is all about 2024 M.A. English entrance exam question paper. Yes, if you like this video, click on like button and share it to your friends and subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't watched the part 1 video of this 2024 question paper, watch the full video in my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel and you can find the videos on MA English entrance exam under CPGET 2025 notification. Part 1 video of 2024 question paper, detailed analysis with answers. Watch this video. In this video, you are going to see the first 50 questions of 2024 question paper, and another video which received 1 lakh views, which got 1 lakh views. And thank you for your support and thank you for your love on this video. CPGET 2025 MA English previous paper, detailed analysis with answers. And in this video we discuss the previous year questions in detail with answers. Yes, once again, if you like the content, click on like button, share and subscribe to share it to your friends and subscribe to my channel for more interesting updates on CPGET 2025 MA English entrance examination. For more updates and for more latest updates and for more updates on CPGET 2025 MA English entrance examination, for more videos on the preparation to MA English entrance examination, visit my channel. Thank you for watching.